pastor of a church. Tonight I have my board of deacons meeting, and excuse me, and they are expecting me there to start the meeting at 8 o'clock, all the way in Ontario. So my get out of jail free card starts at Ontario, and I got a little ways to get before I speed there. So I'd like to just thank you again for having me, and introduce my wife, Cheryl. Cheryl, stand up, please. This is my wife. She's a professional photographer if you need pictures. Anyway, I just want to tell you that one of the things that I'm doing this weekend is having the booth at the gun show, and we're sharing it with the Tea Party. Because I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm also dyslexic, and I've always thought it was great to arm bears. But some of you are real slow, huh? Should I say that again? Or did you get it backwards? Okay. I have an A rating, by the way, with the NRA and the California Rifle and Pistol Association. Yep. And I've shot holes through Norma Torres's campaign rhetoric, too. So there you go. I supported my city hosting the Crossroads of the West Gun Show. By the way, we were met with opposition. People came forward and said, we don't want that here, and I wouldn't even hear it on the council, and they're there. So I promise you that as a state legislator, I will vote against every bill that violates the Second Amendment in Sacramento. Every bill. I loved seeing that little video of Thomas Paine. You could feel his pain. But you know, the thing is, when I look at elected officials, sometimes I think once they get elected, they officially forget who they're supposed to represent. And they're very happy to represent themselves, and once they're in their protected little enclave, they just go away. Somehow. That's not me. You know, I'm as angry as Thomas Paine was about many things. I'm angry about California Environmental Quality Act laws. Now, I am a conservationist. I think that, you know, the beauty of nature needs to be supported. We shouldn't lose everything, our national parks, our state parks, and those kinds of things. But in the city of Ontario, we saw tax dollars that could have helped people, given people jobs, created opportunities for people to shop, stifled for 9 years by lawyers dropping CEQA law challenges at the 9th hour, no, excuse me, at the 11:59th minute of every time we would get to the end of the lawsuit, they drop another one on us. That has to stop in this state, because it kills jobs and it kills revenue, and we have to raise taxes because those taxes weren't generated. And that makes me mad, folks. That makes me mad. And sometimes I think that it's not people who are inspired that get things done. It's just people who get mad. Like us, like me. We're just, you know, I'm mad about things and I'm tired of taking it, so I plan on going and doing something about it. Don't you? That's what you're here about. You're here to go do something about what you're mad about. And I think at times that's what it takes us in this nation. We have to become people who get angry and just stop taking it and go out and do something about it. Complacency is the end of democracy as we know it. And this election, folks, and I promise to be shorter than last time. I saw the video. I only spoke for like 11 and something minutes. It just seemed longer. But this election is really important. As you heard, it's going to even the supermajority in the Senate. And then one more seat topples the supermajority. One of the things that is a problem when any party has a supermajority and absolute power, we all know the saying, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Yeah. And so we have the Democratic Party in the state of California are passing laws and bills, and they're not even paying attention to the details. So once those laws and bills are passed, the details are killing. And that's where the devil is. So let me just give you a real quick one. One of the bills, I can't remember the number, limited the amount of pressure that could be in an air tank on a truck. Now, that was a good idea if you consider the truck driving on the freeway and it gets in an accident and that air tank gets damaged and it blows up and it not only harms the truck but other vehicles around it. There was some sensibility in what that was going to do. The problem is the trucks that use it the most, that need that air pressure more than any other truck out there, are fire trucks. Right? So you would think that the state legislature would say, well, you know what? We need to exempt fire trucks. No, they didn't. They go out and they rule against cities just like everybody else. And now in the city of Ontario, we have to redo the pressure on the tanks on our fire trucks, or they will be cited. What is up with that? People have lost their minds in the state legislature. And it's time that someone as angry as I am goes up there and tries to do something about all of this. It's going to be... I want to cut spending. There are committees at the state level that just don't need to be. And if you see the list of them, you'll be amazed. But not just that. How about this high-speed rail to nowhere? Even the newspaper agreed with me that it shouldn't be built. You know, I think that high-speed rail is the future. We would all like to get from point A to point B faster and maybe not fly there. But to put it out in the wastelands between Bakersfield and somewhere else is nuts. And they're talking about, well, look at the jobs it'll create. Yeah, and then look at the cobwebs it'll attract afterwards. What's going on in our state legislature? It's very important that we get people to vote. Right now, the voter turnout, the ballots have been out for 2 weeks already, the absentee ballots. Hardly anybody sent them back in. The voter apathy is out there. We have a better chance now than ever to take this seat away from the Democrats, just simply by getting Republicans to vote. If we can get Republicans out and get them to vote, we will win this election. It's simple. We just need to motivate people to get out and vote, and we'll win. We'll win. And so, I hope you enjoy your dinner. Thank you for having me. God bless you.
All right, that's fine. Hey, thank him. He has to run. I want to thank Paul very much for turning out. I also want to say talk is not cheap, or talk is cheap. However, donations are well worth it. On Saturday, I'm going to put $20 in this envelope and hand it to his office in person. That way I can save the stamp. Right? So,
and you can volunteer at our office. We have, how many phones do we have, Ross? About 20? We have 20 phones. And it's real easy. All you need to do is log in and it does almost everything for you. If we have 20 people sitting there every day from 9 to 8, from now until the election, we'll win this election. So if you got the time, see Ross, volunteer, come and pack up those phones, and let's get this done, for heaven's sakes. Thank you.
So talk is cheap, walk is not cheap. Here's the sign-up clipboard.